Hello, I'm Dave Stodder, Director of Research for Business Intelligence with TDWI. And I'm with Ralph Hughes, who is a Chief Solutions Architect with Ceregenics. And we're going to be talking about Agile today. We've got a lot of activities going on at TDWI having to do with the use of Agile methods in BI and data warehousing systems. And Ralph, being truly one of the experts in the field, it's great to have Ralph here.
Thank you.
Ralph, we're working together on a survey that's actually live right now until the end of August about Agile methods and how they're being used in organizations, and we're, just get a sense of the use patterns and things like that. Mm-hmm. We can talk a little bit about what's in the survey, and this is also, I should say, version 2. We did a 2012 survey and got some great results, which we used in our keynote last year in Boston. Well, we're going to be doing the same thing this year at the Boston World Conference at the end of October, discussing Agile. So,
right. Well, I'm glad we got a chance to do another survey following up on last year's. I think the survey is very important because TDWI and Ceregenics has been teaching Agile data warehousing in these world conferences for almost 5 years now. A lot of that's been based upon our conviction that it's really much better for our end users and even the IT teams themselves to be able to deliver in small increments and repeat that pattern. Mm-hmm. But it's all anecdotal at this point until we did the survey in 2012, and then we put it out to 90,000 contacts, got almost 400 plus responses. So now we can actually provide some scientific data that yes, Agile techniques are working out there. Last year showed that companies are phenomenally successful with Agile just after they've completed 3 or 4 projects, that they seem to figure it out very quickly, and it definitely increases their success rates and their customer satisfaction. Mm-hmm. But last year we had kind of a mystery show up in the data, in that it was sort of evenly divided. There were companies that were doing better, but their costs on their projects were going up, and then there were companies that were doing better and their costs were going down. And when we dug into the data, we couldn't really find a signal in it that would tell us why, who does better with cost and who doesn't do so well. So we added a question this year to really dig into that so that we can maybe see under the surface of that question and maybe discover some, really important best practices so that you can do it faster, better, and dependably cheaper. That's the goal of the 2013 survey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So we worked really hard to get some good questions there about cost, because it's sort of mysterious, where the cost is coming from. There are a lot of possible factors and attributes to the cost issue. And
frankly, I don't know if you really worry about cost so much if you're delivering faster and your customers are happier. But there are some definite leaders in the pack that can do both of those and drive costs down. So we want to find out what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because some of the ultimate concern is, are you getting business value? And
Absolutely.
So, and if it delivers value, then cost can kind of take care of itself. So what's interesting is we just finished the BI Executive Summit here in San Diego, and Ralph and I were noting earlier, it's really amazing how Agile has developed as a concept in its use, and we actually had speakers at the conference who were delivering fabulous case studies about what they're doing with Agile, and they were people that were students here, and they've kind of gone to Ralph's classes and so forth, and now here they are giving really interesting case studies. And just to name a few, Delta Community Credit Union, Sue Rayburn and Sharon Odom gave a great one today about that, and we heard from Mark Giesbeck
from CN Rail up in Montreal. Right. Yeah, I have spent a good part of a year mentoring and coaching the CN Rail team. And there he is as a keynote speaker and saying some really substantive, positive things about what Agile did for his BI. They're considered the best run railroad in North America. Mm-hmm. And they give credit largely to their business intelligence for achieving that kind of status. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they've been able to pick up the Agile methods and really double or triple the effectiveness of their BI team, especially with their end users, is just, it's fabulous to hear and very rewarding to have been able to be part of it in a small way.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And they've really dug deep and I think, found where they're having delays in their development processes, and particularly around ETL, that area. So, and really successfully used Agile to address those issues, and it's been good.
I think it's fabulous the way Agile brings to the surface two things. It brings to the surface productivity that you had all along, but you just weren't tapping. But it also brings to the surface the problems that are there that you need to fix.
Right.
It just sort of takes away the veneer that was hiding it and lets you really dig into your process and improve it.
Good. Well, you gave a great talk today, actually, at the summit, or it was yesterday, to be precise about it, about a new kind of twist or development in your methodology, I guess, for doing Agile. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Sure. To deliver a data warehouse is a very long engineering process. It involves requirements, then database design, then you get to ETL coding, and finally you have to validate the end product with the users. And up until last year or so, we were focused very much on how do you speed up ETL coding, because we thought that was the tall pole in the tent, and I guess it was. But it's like I said, Agile brings things to the surface. You fix the speed of coding, you double or triple the developer's delivery rate, and suddenly you see what the next problem is. And what we found out, what our customers and our clients were bumping their heads on was the ceiling imposed by how slow, how long it takes to do the data model, to get ready, a target schema ready for ETL to populate. And so in the last couple of years, we've been working on ways to speed that up. And it hasn't been just Agile methods. Right. It's actually been different data modeling paradigms. You've had to either, let's say most organizations start with a third normal form model. You either have to break those tables down even further, and we call that hyper-normalize it, or you have to generalize those tables back to just 5 or 6 tables and use metadata records to store the model and the data, and we call that hyper-generalization. And what we've found is that there's companies succeeding in both ways, and we roll them all together and say hyper-modeling. We think hyper-modeling is now the new important piece to add to your Agile methods to really be able to deliver faster, better, and cheaper.
Yeah, it was good. It was a very well-received talk. So
it was.
So as you can see with TDWI, we've got a lot going on with Agile and some really successful implementations. And it's very important stuff because obviously organizations are under a lot of pressure from the business side to deliver faster, but better quality, see more productivity from the developers. So this stuff's important.
Yeah. It feels great to be part of it, and I really think that you guys are doing a fabulous job. You've supported this whole idea of, hey, let's see if we can put together an education program about incremental and iterative delivery. I think it's really helping your customers and the businesses out there. I hear nothing but great things about what it's done for their customer satisfaction and even the morale of the IT team. So, yeah, it's very satisfying to be part of.
Good. Well, it's satisfying our end, too.